What's up, everybody? So I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while, and I do apologize about that. But I've been really busy, guys. Been really busy trying to do everything I can. I do apologize. I apologize that I haven't put out a lot of. I apologize that I haven't put out a lot of versus content, and I mean, to be honest with you guys, like we already kind of discussed a lot of like what I thought was going to happen like in the next chapter and stuff. Like everybody kind of thinks the same thing. Like we all think that Jachi's going to come and he's going to either he's going to interfere with the fight between the Lawless and the Gaia's Wrath bear, or he's probably going to kill the bear, unknowingly helping the Lawless, but then he's probably going to, destroy the Lawless and stuff. So, other than that, I really don't know what else to predict. Or they could just not even show anything from that, and they could jump to Hollow and Paka and Bass and the kid, on their journey and stuff. So, there's a couple things that could happen, but it's already kind of been speculated on what's going to happen. So I don't want to beat a dead horse with with making a prediction video. Uh, so, I didn't want to do that. I do have an idea of something that I want to talk about for verses, but if I'm being honest, guys, it's pretty short. It's only one thing, and I can only talk so much about it. I mean, if I'm lucky, that video would be like maybe 3 or 4 minutes long. So, you know, um, honestly, guys, I just kind of wanted to sit and talk with you guys, just kind of catch up, update you guys on, excuse me, on what's been going on with me and maybe talk about some things that are going on, in the world or whatever, and, just kind of go from there. Um, so, um, as you guys can see, I got a new microphone. I apologize if the sound isn't the best. It's an XLR microphone, and it's supposed to be great for podcasts, and it's supposed to just have like amazing sound, right? So I got it to give you guys better quality, and I'm sure, as you guys could also tell, I also got a new 4K camera that you guys are looking at me at, and now pretty crystal clearly. I apologize that I'm not more like cleaned up for the video and stuff, but hey, man, you guys get me as I am. Um, so yeah, I've upgraded the camera, upgraded the microphone. I also got their headphones. So this brand is called Fifine, and unknowingly, this is the brand of my last microphone. This brand has kind of been with me since day one. It's not the best. I was actually kind of switching between this one and I think it's called pronounced like Mayono. And to be honest with you, you guys are probably gonna be like, dude, you're fucking weird. So to be honest with you, the Mayono was slightly better, and they're practically the same price. However, I feel like this brand, Fifine, they have more. I feel like they have more for content creators, like more, microphones and headsets and all that good stuff, and even wireless ones and stuff. And it's also like very affordable. Pretty much all of their stuff with the Mayono, they have affordable stuff, but they also have like stuff that's a little bit more expensive. So I like this brand. Like I don't know what it is, bro, but I like the brand. Like sometimes you don't something doesn't have to be the best in order for you to have like a connection with it, especially since it was like my first microphone. I'm kind of just like, I'm gonna just stick with this brand, but I like it though. I think it's a really nice microphone. I like the RBG lighting that it has and stuff, and I mean, it definitely sounds a lot better than my last microphone, I feel. So I think that that's a upgrade. Um, so I'm pretty happy with it. I always wondered why people wore microphones when they would record, and I guess it's so that they can monitor, their volume and the way they sound on the microphone and stuff. So I've learned a lot of new stuff, going through these upgrades because I had to do my research. Like when I was planning on upgrading, my camera, my microphone, and whatnot and stuff, I'm like, I don't know what to get. So I had to do some research, and in doing research, I learned new things about cameras, the microphones. This microphone even came with a audio mixer slash interface. So it's plugged into that for the XLR feature. It's connected to the USB as well, which is how it gets its RBG lighting there. So, I mean, I'm just overall very happy with this microphone and camera. I think they both are doing great, and I hope you guys enjoy them. I hope it feels like an upgrade to you. So, I mean, essentially, guys, this is going to be like episode 6 of my I'm Just Saying podcast, because again, I'm just going to sit here and talk. Like, honestly, I really don't want to do a whole bunch of editing and stuff. Like, because guys, I've been busy. I can't really say exactly what I've been busy doing, but I've just been busy working my tail off, trying to, do better for myself and my family and stuff, and kind of be able to like, you know, uplift us, a little bit. So, yeah, I've been really busy, so I am very exhausted, very exhausted. And then on top of that, I've kind of mentioned in the past, that I battle with health conditions. We'll just put it that way. And it's an everyday battle, guys. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I have to, you know, I have to endure, my health conditions and stuff. I don't want to specify what they are and stuff like that because it's kind of personal, it's a little embarrassing and stuff like that. But just know that every day, not only am I struggling to survive financially, but I'm also struggling to just honestly kind of stay alive. So, uh, yeah, it is what it is. So I'm just very exhausted. So I say all that to say I just don't feel like doing any editing right now. But just like you guys, I am waiting on the new chapter of Versus, chapter, I'm assuming 24. Um, Chapter 24. I think it's going to be great. I have a feeling it's going to be an amazing chapter. It's going to be a banger. And I think we're all going to um, really enjoy it. So that can't come any quicker, right? And just like you guys, probably starting on the 23rd, I'll be searching for the new chapter. Hopefully, they kind of put it out early, but I don't know. As of lately, man, they haven't really been putting the new chapter out any sooner than like day 24, day 25 of the new month. I think there was even one month where they didn't put the chapter out until the 26th. So we'll see. Let's see here. What else to talk about? So yeah, that's versus. As we all know, One Punch Man is going through another. They keep calling it retcon. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know what the fuck retcon means, so I'm gonna just refer to it as a redraw. Maybe retcon is like, I don't know, reconstruction or something like that. I don't know, but they're going through another redraw of the Ninja arc, and yeah, we've basically have had almost 2 years straight of Ninja Arc, and I'm just over it, bro. I'm just fucking over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't really want to watch this story, unfold where they only make minor changes and stuff. Like, I'm good. We're good on that. So, it's sad, man. It's sad because One Punch Man was always number one for a while, even over My Hero Academia manga, over, let's see, what's another popular one? I'm trying to look at my collection here behind me. Yeah, My Hero Academia manga, because those are ongoing. Demon Slayer is already done. Attack on Titan's been done. I think even Fire Force has been done. What's another popular one? Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, like One Punch Man has been number one for a while, so to see it go from number one to like, I'd rather fucking read like My Hero Academia or something like that rather than One Punch Man right now. It's kind of sad, it's like fucking fell from Mount Everest and shit. So, but luckily one has given us verses, and verses is so far fucking amazing. So it's like, you kind of took one away, but you gave us an even better one. So I'm good with it. As long as we got verses, and as long as verses just stays as good as it is, I'm content with that. I would love, of course, I would love for One Punch Man to get back on track, but if it doesn't, like, I'm not really sweating it, but we'll see. And like some people kind of say like, oh well, guys, technically, when they do a redraw, the initial stuff that they put on there isn't going to be in the manga. Like it's not going to officially get put in the manga and get released. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that, because basically the images from the original drawings are always going to be with me. They're always going to be embedded in my brain and stuff. So it's like, I'm going to always see that that Blast got his ass whooped by, Empty Void, and that he's weak, that, all he could really do is fucking, his teleportation and his fucking, gravity knuckles or something like that. Like, it's just so, bro, it's so, I don't even like to think about it. It's so disappointing, so, so yeah, it's just sad. So that's what's been going on with One Punch Man. It's been interesting that, the other content creators have still been covering it. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not surprising because, of course, like we all know, a lot of their channels are heavily dependent on One Punch Man. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, to be honest with you, my channel is heavily dependent on verses. Like, for most of the people who are subscribed to me, it's because of my versus content. It's not because of my reactions or, anything else like that. Not my podcast. It's just people like my versus content. So I'm not knocking them for being heavily reliant on that. Not at all. But it's like, with the manga doing so bad, it's just like, like, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like if verses, because I think there was a couple of times where the chapters and verses were like, or they were okay, or I thought that they were bad or whatever. It's like, I don't think I really covered them. I just like kind of let them go by, and I was like, I'll wait on the next one. And if the next one's better, I'll talk about it. So, I just kind of feel like for Mastar and Anime Anxiety and Shonen and all of them to continue to talk about the third redraw is like, all right, guys, it's looking a little desperate out here. Like, we get it, that you're heavily reliant on it, but at the same time, it's like, give it some space, let them do their thing, and talk about other shit. Now, this kind of leads me into one of the other things that I kind of want to talk about. Speaking of Mastar, right? You know what? In a way, I kind of want to talk about these other content creators, not because, like, again, I kind of like, I don't like necessarily look up to these guys, but like, they're heavy hitters in the manga review content creation world of YouTube. And what they do and things that they, characteristics that they show, I find interesting. So another thing that I find interesting is that Mastar Media still covers Dragon Ball. Okay, now for those of you who do not know, the manga stopped, to my knowledge, but Toei recently came out with Dragon Ball Daima. Now, Dragon Ball Daima so far is like a mixture of like Dragon Ball GT and I don't know, like Demon Slayer or something like that. Because I know like it has something to do with demons now and other worlds and stuff like that. In my opinion, it's kind of doing a little much. But for some reason, they keep wanting to turn Goku into a kid again. I don't know if they're trying to bring back the nostalgia of the initial Dragon Ball, like when Goku was a kid, but it's like, it made sense for that time, guys, because it was the beginning of the story. Goku was a kid. But we saw Goku grow up, and then it came became Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball. What was after Z? Um, I think it was, yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and then Dragon Ball Super. It's like we've seen, and it's like they're kind of like wanting to reboot it almost. Where they keep making Goku a kid again, and it's like, guys, like stop doing that shit, man. Now you guys, it's not even just Goku. You guys done made Piccolo and Vegeta kids as well. It's like, guys, come on. Let's stop with that. But this kind of brings up my point. It's just like I don't know if Mastar is reviewing Dragon Ball Daima because, like, I mean, I get it. Dragon Ball is a classic, right? It's like no matter how old you get, you love it. It's a classic, all that other type of stuff. I get that. But it's like that just because it's a classic doesn't mean that every new thing that they put out about it is good. And I have scanned through the new episodes of Dragon Ball Daima, and it is not good. It is not good. I mean, the animation is cool. I saw that Mastar was kind of talking about how he loved their animation, how he feels like it's very clean, very easy for your brain to process and digest, all the different frames and impact frames and stuff like that. And I get that. And you know what? To a certain degree, I agree with him. It is very well done. It's very clean. It is very digestible and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I still don't think that makes it a good anime, personally. So far, I think that Dragon Ball is it's a classic and it kind of needs to be left at that so far. Now, I'm not going to lie. When it kind of came to the manga, I was getting slightly interested with Dragon Ball Super, with some of their new villains and stuff, and the fact that Vegeta was getting a new form and Goku had, Ultra Instinct and stuff like that. Like, I felt like some of that stuff had potential, but then they kind of like scrapped that. And, I was just like, and that's the thing, man. They're just constantly all over the place with Dragon Ball. It's just like, I don't know, man. But I mean, they're probably gonna keep going with it until something sticks, until they finally come across something that people like. But in the meantime, just like One Punch Man, you're kind of ruining it because people aren't going to forget these weird storylines that you guys put out, and it just kind of ruins the characters a little bit, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Um, you know, Personally, bro, I don't understand why Mastar Media is not covering verses. I don't get it. I really don't. You want to cover One Punch Man, which One Punch Man is crap right now with the redraws and the ninja arc and shit. And then you want to cover Dragon Ball Daima, but Dragon Ball Daima is like pretty boring, pretty like weird almost because they keep turning them into kids. It's like why would you not cover verses? And I understand that verses only comes out once a month, but it's like, because I'm not saying don't cover the other stuff that he's covering. You can cover that if you want to still, but bro, cover verses. Verses is good as hell right now. Like, what the fuck? It's just weird, bro. I don't know. I don't get it. Again, especially because when he did cover the first two chapters of verses, he said that he thought it was good. I mean, he could have just been, shooting shit to the wind or whatever. I don't know, but it's just weird. I kind of feel the same thing with anime anxiety. I think it's weird but see, the difference between Mastar. See, one thing I've been noticing with Mastar is he's kind of been edging a little bit closer to the truth, right? Like when he talks about the third redraw of One Punch Man, he's kind of like, he said like, please God, let this be the last redraw. I think if they do one more redraw, they're gonna lose a lot of fans, which they already have. With this being the third I mean, they lost me as a fan. I'd tell you that. But he said they're gonna lose a lot of fans if they don't get past this arc. And yeah, he's just basically slightly, very vaguely voiced his opinion of, uh, dissatisfaction with this being the third redraw. But then at the same time, he keeps saying, I'm going to let one and Yusuke Murata cook, and, I support anything that they do. That part's a little pathetic to me because it's just kind of like, dude, they're human, okay? They fuck up, they make mistakes. They do shit that isn't the smartest idea. It's not the move, right? So it's like for him to, no matter what they do, always be like, I love them. They're like, he literally said they're like gods to me, which I think is really weird, to call another man, a god to you or whatever. But whatever. But it's like, bro, it's okay to say, hey, bro, you guys suck right now. And that's how I feel. In regards to Yusuke Murata and One right now, when it comes to One, hey, you doing a great job with verses, bro. But One Punch Man, that shit is ass right now. You know what I'm saying? And with Yusuke Murata, it's never the art, or I'm not going to say never. It's not that the art is like so bad. It's like, bro, this shit is trash. This shit is ass. It's not that, because even on a bad day, Yusuke Murata's art is like still top tier, even on his bad day. You know what I'm saying? And then on a good day, his shit is fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? Amazing, bro. Like literally some of the best art I've ever seen. So it's not necessarily that it's the art, but it's like, I don't know, bro. It's like you as the artist, I feel like when you feel like the story don't make sense, because I'm not saying that Yusuke Murata does the, like he's contributing to the story. I don't know if he is. I can't confirm or deny that he is or isn't. But it's like your reputation as an artist is on the line. Yeah, it's your art and it's his story, but people are still going to look at it kind of like, well, this is on you too, because I feel like as an artist should be able to say, what the hell, bro? Like, this shit makes no sense, or hey, this shit is weak compared to what we've done in the past. If you want me to draw this, we're going to have to make some changes or something, bro. You got to like vouch for yourself and for the people if you see something where it's like, this ain't gonna work, like this is gonna be something that the people hate, so I don't know. But yeah, bro, right now, One Punch Man is ass, and that's a bad reflection on One and Yusuke Murata. Like, it just is what it is, right? So yeah, that's my opinion about it. But like anime anxiety, I feel like he's even worse than Mastar Media. Like I feel like no matter how bad the manga is, like anime anxiety is just constantly pumping it up or whatever. And then like when the whole community is like, nah, this shit trash, then he'll be like, yeah, no, I agree with that. I thought that. It's just like, bro, like you just kind of hopping on the bandwagon, bro. And it's just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like, but here's the thing, like I like his content. I like Anime Anxiety's content. Like it's definitely not the worst or anything like that, but I don't know. I just feel like he's constantly kissing the ass of One Punch Man. And again, it's like, honestly, bro, sometimes I like it when people throw in a little bit of not negativity, but just like realness. Just like, hey guys, I love this, but I'm gonna be honest, this shit was trash this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just talk about things you didn't like about it. I like videos like that. I think there's a lot of people out there who like videos that mix in a little bit of criticism. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he would like do bad if he mixed some of that in there with that, so just a thought, just a thought. Um, and then I'm gonna keep it real. I haven't watched one of Shonen's videos in a while, man. I don't know why, it's like, cause his opinion is, sometimes I like his opinion and sometimes Shonen be keeping it real, so, but I don't know. I just haven't watched any of his videos anytime recently. It's interesting. All right. So that's One Punch Man right now. So what else can we talk about? Let's talk about, I mean, there's quite a few things that we could talk about, but you know what, real quick, guys, let's talk about boxing. I don't know if you guys are boxing fans or anything like that, but a few things that have happened a little bit recently. I guess Canelo was supposed to, they were working on a contract for him versus Terrence Crawford, and vice versa. That would have been an amazing fight. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. That would have literally been the best of the best fighting each other. I really liked that idea, but I guess it fell through. And it's like, bro, that fell through because one of y'all don't really want to fight. Let's keep it real. That's what it really is. One of y'all don't really want to fight, because if y'all really wanted to fight, you would come together and figure it out. So I think that those two are still scared of each other. I think they're not quite ready to test themselves against the other. Both of them. Terrence Crawford may be undefeated, bro, but Canelo is definitely capable of taking that O for sure. When he went up in weight and just fought his most recent opponent, he struggled. He struggled. He won by decision, but he kind of barely won, bro. So I think he's thinking about, okay, Canelo got the power like this dude, but unlike this dude, Canelo got the head speed. He's got, the elusiveness to make it to where I could potentially lose the decision. Because I think Terrence Crawford knows, like, well, I'm probably not going to get knocked out, but I need to be able to outpoint this person so I could at least get the decision and keep my undefeated record. But I think with Canelo, he knows it's a strong possibility he could end up losing that undefeated record. So, but in the same instance, I think Canelo, because I think Canelo's lost twice. I think he lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he was younger, and then he lost to some Dimitri Bivol or something like that. And I think those are the only people he's lost to, I want to say. But you don't want to, he don't want to get any more defeats on his record. And Terrence Crawford is definitely capable of, shining that night and giving him his third loss. So, I think that, he may be a little nervous too. I mean, he did fight one of the Charlo brothers, and, he did very well against him. So I don't know. If I had to put my money on it, I'd probably put it on Canelo, but it wouldn't surprise me if Bud won. But it fell through, so we're not going to see it anyway. And then the other thing that I just really wanted to talk about real quick is Gervonta Davis. So he's supposed to be fighting Lamont Roach sometime in March. I can't remember when in March, but he's supposed to be fighting Lamont Roach. I am very interested in that fight because Lamont Roach is undefeated. It seems like Gervonta Davis is trying to take everybody's O. I think Gervonta Davis wants to be the only undefeated fighter in his weight class of anybody who's like in the top 10. If you're not in the top 10, even if you have, an undefeated record, I don't really think he's worried about you all that much, because, your name doesn't really have any value to it. But once your name has some value to it and you're undefeated, I think Gervonta Davis is looking to fight you, especially if he feels like he could beat you. I mean, but Gervonta Davis will be honest and say, like, when I go into fights, I get nervous. He's like, anybody who tells you that they not nervous, they lying. And I respect that, bro. Like, he literally said, like, with Lamont Roach, he's like, just like him and any other fighter that I fight, I can easily have a bad night and they could beat me, or they could catch me with, a shot that I don't see coming or something. He's like, it's always, the possibility is always there. So he's like, I get nervous when I think about that, but, I just, do what I got to do. And, I catch my groove and I end up dominating, so I respect that about Gervonta. Now, Gervonta is talking about if he defeats Lamont Roach, he's considering retiring because he feels like no one is really serious about fighting him. People who he wants to fight in the future keep ducking him. I think he's referring to like Shakur Stevenson and what was that other dude's name? The one that Devin Haney fought. I can't remember what his name is, but maybe even Devin Haney to a certain extent. I don't know if he wants to fight him anymore after he lost to Ryan Garcia. I don't know if Gervonta Davis wants to fight Ryan Garcia again. I think he should, because I think that if he were to defeat Ryan Garcia for a second time, especially via TKO or KO, then there would be no question that Ryan Garcia just was because people they question the validity of that victory because Gervonta Davis had the hydration clause a part of the contract. So if he were to have a rematch with Ryan Garcia without a hydration clause, I mean, he might, and he were to win, then it would be, sealed, done deal that, be no fuss, no muss about him being the better of the two. But I don't know if he's even really tripping off of that. And in Gervonta's mind, hey, I beat him, and we both, the hydration clause applied to both of us. So, under those circumstances that we both faced, I won. So, it is what it is. Now, a lot of people are saying, like, well, bro, if you feel like the people in your weight division aren't stepping up to the plate, then just, go up a couple weight divisions, and fight people who are stronger, bigger, and all that other kind of stuff, but at the same time, guys, of course, like eventually the more and more Gervonta Davis goes up in weight class, the more of a disadvantage he would be at. And, it's not like he could keep going all the way till he goes up to heavyweight. Like, there's going to be a point where he's going to be fighting guys significantly taller than him, significantly bigger than him, significantly stronger than him. Like, just because Gervonta Davis is a hard puncher for his weight class doesn't mean that he's the hardest puncher in the world. Like, he's the hardest puncher at his weight class, thus far that has been showcased, but he's never claimed to be the hardest puncher in the world. I know a lot of people, had speculated, is Deontay Wilder the hardest puncher in the world? Is Francis Ngannou the hardest puncher in the world? But that's never been a Gervonta Davis like slogan. I'm the hardest puncher in the world. It's never, other than in his weight class, so. Yeah, man. So that's my thoughts on that. There might be other stuff going on in boxing too and stuff, but I really like to talk about, the top tier guys, the really popular guys and stuff. And then I kind of just leave it at that. I'm not into boxing that much. So we'll talk Super Bowl Sunday real quick. So yeah, Super Bowl Sunday sucked for me because I had a bet and I lost. Not going to tell you guys what I bet, but I bet and I lost horribly. And that's the thing. It's not even the fact that I lost. It's the fact that the game wasn't even close. So it just made me look like that much more of an idiot when I bet that the Chiefs were going to win. To me, it made sense. It's like, well, they obviously played good this year to make it to the Super Bowl. They won like the last 2 or 3 Super Bowls. It would only make sense that, they would win again, like they've been on this stage before. They're comfortable with it. They have the talent for it. And they just they shit the bed, dude. So Super Bowl Sunday sucked for me. I did not watch the halftime show. I think that, personally, I think that Kendrick Lamar is really not as good as people are trying to make him seem to be. I think his music is very mediocre. I don't have not one of his songs downloaded in my phone. To be honest with you, the only song of his that I really like to listen to every once in a while is I think it's called Love or something like that. I really like that song of his, but other than that song, I really don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar's music. I fuck with Drake's music. I think that Drake's music is a lot more pleasing, to the ear. I like his R&B music. Matter of fact, I love his R&B music. I think some of his rap music is really good. Of course, I don't like all of Drake's music. He puts out songs and shit that I think is trash from time to time and stuff like that. But if I had to choose one of the artists to listen to over the other, it would definitely be Drake. So, not to say that I like Drake as a person. I don't know Drake, you hear things about Drake, but I don't know if it's true or not. If some of the stuff I hear is true about, I don't know, like how he carries himself, then I'm probably not the biggest fan of him as a person, but again, I don't know if none of that's true. So, I have no thoughts on Drake as a person because I don't know him and I can't validate whether, niggas is just hating or some of the stuff is true or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, when you rich as fuck, and you got so much control and power over people, because a lot of people will do almost anything for money, you know, amen. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, So I'm gonna be real, bro. I might do a couple of, if I was as rich as him and other people, I might do a couple things here and there that I'm probably not too proud of, but temptation is a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I'd probably be a somewhat of a womanizer to a degree if I was as rich as him. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So it's not that I don't have respect for women or anything, but it's like when you rich as fuck, good looking, and you could have almost any woman that you want. Why are you gonna, isolate yourself to just one? You know what I'm saying? And you ain't married or anything like that. Have no obligation to any of them. Like, bro, I'm done with you, and then shit. Tomorrow I'm gonna go fuck Megan Thee Stallion, and then the next day after that I'm gonna go fuck Serena Williams, and then the day after that I'm gonna fuck Ice Spice, and then you know what I'm saying? Like the day after that I'm gonna fuck SZA, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, why would I just be dedicated to you? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really fuck. Even if some of that is true. Drake is a womanizer, or I'm not even gonna speak on the pedo shit, bro, because I feel like that's a really big allegation. That's it's law breaking. You know what I'm saying? It ain't against the law to be a womanizer. It's you might get looked at in a shitty way, but it's not against the law, and it's what I'm saying. But the pedo shit, I'm not even gonna speak on that, bro, because I don't know shit about that, and I don't know anything about that. But yeah, as far as like the women go, bro, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women that are like that. They do the same thing to men. You know what I'm saying? I think Megan Thee Stallion is a great example. I mean, when you're an industry hoe, yeah, because Drake is an industry hoe too. You know what I'm saying? And Megan Thee Stallion, from what I hear, is an industry hoe as well. You know what I'm saying? So she's a womanizer, but towards men. And she probably does it to women too, because I hear that she's um, swings both ways. Allegedly. All of this is alleged, guys. All this stuff about Drake is alleged. All the stuff about Megan Thee Stallion is alleged. I don't know them personally. I can't confirm or deny any of this stuff. So everything is allegedly. But yeah, so it's just like, but yeah, she go from one dude to another and shit like that. Cause she's like, I'm sure Megan Thee Stallion is like, why would I just dedicate myself to you, nigga, when I could fuck Moneybag Yo one day and fuck Tory Lanez the next day, and then fuck the baby the next day, and then fuck Drake the next day, and then fuck, you know what I'm saying, fucking Jay-Z the next day. Like, nigga, I'm over here hooking up with like, multimillionaires and people who are special, and then even regular niggas, just regular, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. It's just like, I understand why they are, why they are just free spirits, so to speak. Again, when you got money like that and you got the freedom, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you isolate yourself? So I don't really fault Drake for some of the shit that people be saying that, Drake is a piece of shit for. Like, hey, but again, I also don't fault him for that, because it's all alleged and I can't confirm or deny if any of it is true. All I know that is true is that the nigga makes great music, you know. But yeah, I think that Kendrick Lamar is blown up, and everybody keeps going crazy over this fucking song that he made. I forget what it's called, but personally, I don't like the song. I think that it's very, as soon as I hear the music, I'm like, this shit sound ratchet as fuck, bro. Like me personally, I wouldn't like to play that kind of song in my place of business or anything like that, because all you gotta attract is a bunch of ratchet, hood rat, ghetto motherfuckers, and I'm good. Y'all stay away from me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care for the song. But apparently this nigga won awards over the song and shit like that. I just think that people are out of their fucking minds right now, bro. That's all I think that is. I just think that people are just subscribing to the fucking idiocy and, things that, I don't know, things that people would have, really I don't know, like what's the word? Things that people wouldn't have accepted before, you know, because of its how do I put it? Because of its I don't even know how I don't know how to put this statement into words, to be honest with you. I feel like people are subscribing and accepting to things now that I think logically should be unacceptable. There we go. Logically. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude won an award from a diss track that ain't even really that hard, bro. Like I feel like Drake's what was it? I think it was Drake's what was that song that he had with Daylight where he was dissing Meek Mill or something like that. That shit went hard. The fucking beat was hard. You know, it was serious tone. That shit was hard. Like I would think that he would win an award off of something like that, or fucking Eminem's like what was it, Headshot or something towards Machine Gun Kelly and his other dish, you know, towards P Diddy. Like you know, a lot of them things went hard, bro. Like I just don't feel like that shit was worthy of an award. I'm like, hey, whatever, I guess. Um, let's see here. What else to talk about? So, you know, I'm going to lightly talk about politics a little bit, guys. And I know a lot of you, whoa, shit, this nigga about to talk about politics. Just a little bit, guys, because I mean, I feel like the politics have been getting really out of control. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been wanting to talk about politics a lot. Um, you know, like more frequently and stuff. But again, I don't get the privacy at home that I need to record videos. Only reason I'm recording right now is because my wife and two daughters are out with their grandmother, and you know they're having a good time and stuff. So I'm taking this opportunity to record. But yeah, so a lot of things going on in politics right now, man. So in regards to America, guys, our president currently is Donald Trump. And, you know, look, man, Donald Trump is making a lot of, he's making a lot of things go on right now, right? Now, I'm not the most knowledgeable or educated individual regarding, you know, economics and business and um you know, a lot of things, military and, you know, just all kinds of stuff, right? I'm not the most, you know, I'm not the brightest bulb in the box when it comes to all that stuff, right? So, you know, initially when, you know, he got into office and he's proposing he's going to do this and that, specifically what I'm talking about right now, guys, is tariffs, okay? If you don't know what tariffs are when they put taxes on other countries who want to import goods into America, right? He puts a certain percentage of taxes on those imports. And depending on those tariffs, whether they're zero or any other percentage all the way up to 100%, you know, that would dictate whether they even import to us or not. They may not even bother when, you know, the tariffs on them are so high, it makes no sense economically for them to do so. So, and that's what he's been doing. And apparently his goal in doing that is what he's doing is he's trying to incentivize these other countries to, instead of making their product outside of the US and looking to import it into the US, he's trying to encourage them to build their warehouses where they manufacture these supplies. He wants them to build their warehouses in America and produce this merchandise or product in America, because what this will do is it gives more jobs in America, and then it you know, also gives America the ability to produce just as well as China is, because that's the thing. Let's keep it real, guys. What it is America sees that China is so far ahead that it's kind of upset that it fell so far behind. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to catch up. Okay. It's like they felt like the big boy on campus, but now they feel like they're the second biggest big boy on campus, right? And they're trying to catch ahead, but they're trying to do it overnight. Now, here's the thing. I had faith, like, you know what? Trump is a really smart businessman, apparently, from what I can tell. Maybe he knows something that I don't know. And, he's going to make this work, So I was kind of holding my breath. I wasn't really saying nothing about it. I'm like, let's give him a chance. Let's see what happens. But I've just really been paying attention. And I just feel like this tariff shit is not working out so far. I mean, look, again, I could be wrong. It could be looking ugly right now, but maybe other countries will come along. Maybe they'll change their minds. But so far, it's not looking good for us. And I just don't see why they would change their minds on, wanting to go along with his program. Because, guys, he's creating issues between us and not other countries that we're heavily reliant on, such as China, because China makes fucking almost everything. So not only is he souring our relationship with them, he's even destroying our relationships with our neighbors, Canada and Mexico. They're building the wall again. He's putting tariffs on Mexico. And then on top of that, he's declaring, like war on the cartels and, just all kinds of, he's deporting, people in America who I guess aren't legal, back to, whatever country they came from and stuff like that initially. Because let's keep it real. We all came from a different country. You know what I'm saying? White people came from the European countries. Black people, we came from, maybe the African countries and stuff. And, if you're not Native American or whatever, like we all came from a different country. Obviously, Asian Americans came from, one of the Asian countries. It's like, so we're all technically from another country, but he's deporting specifically Hispanic people, I guess, who don't have their visas and aren't natural citizens or legalized citizens and stuff. So it's just like that's what he's doing with Mexico, and then he put tariffs on Canada, in regards to their oil, I guess, their lumber, their milk, and he's saying that we don't need them to continue to produce 20% of our cars because apparently they have some vehicle warehouses out there where they produce about 20% of our vehicles that we have in the U.S. So, and so what Canada's response to that was, other than them publicly saying, because another thing is Trump wants to annex Canada into the U.S. And basically what that means is annex means he wants to peacefully and, what's the word? He wants to peacefully merge Canada into the United States to where Canada becomes the 51st state. Okay. And Canada's like, no, we're our own country. We don't want to be a part of the United States. We're good with the way everything has been. You're the one who's wanting to switch shit up, and we don't want to do that. And in response to that, Trump put the tariffs on them. I think 25%. I think it was either 25% or 100%, something like that. But I guess even 25% is unacceptable to them. So I guess the oil that was supposed to come from Canada to America, Canada said, oh, okay, you want to put the tariffs on us? Cool. We're going to go ahead and do this oil trade with China. So they sent the oil to China. And then here's the thing. For those of you who do not know, European countries such as the United Kingdoms, and I'm sure a few of the other ones over there, as well as like Australia and stuff like that, they're allied with America, which kind of makes sense. These are all like English speaking countries. So, and like they're kind of ran or governed dominantly by, European men and women, let's keep it real, So it kind of makes sense that these countries are allied together, right? We're also allied with like Japan, stuff like that. I think maybe even New Zealand. I can't remember New Zealand. But yeah, we got other allies and stuff. So, with them being our allies, you would think that, whatever the US says, Australia is going to follow suit, the UK is going to follow suit, but apparently not. Even the UK, they got into talks with Canada, and now the UK is also accepting oil from Canada. So it's like the UK and China are getting the oil from Canada, but we're not getting the oil, which is going to do what? Make the oil prices go up in the US. So us as the American people, we're the ones suffering. Of course, people like Trump and them, they're not suffering, they're rich. Even if the prices go up, they can afford it. It's not going to affect them. It's going to affect the low level, the middle class to poverty stricken American citizens, And so we're suffering for, his decisions right now. And it's like, and not only that, it just seems from what I'm seeing, it seems like he's burning bridges between other countries, and there's no reason for that. And he's isolating us from basically trading for goods and services with other countries. Like they're getting to a point where it's like they don't want to deal with us anymore because they're like, your president right now is on that bullshit. So we'll tell you what, we'll come back to you guys in about 3 years, see if you got it together. When his term is done, we'll see if things change and maybe we want to do business with you. Like that's what it's probably about to be. Like I'm just like I wanted to give him a chance to maybe see if he could really turn stuff around, make a positive change. But right now, all I'm seeing is negative, bro. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. And then he's done other stuff that is a little suspicious to me. He, I guess he undid the, oh, that must be upstairs. He undid the Civil Rights Act of, I think, what is it, like 1963 or something like this, 1963 or 1965 or something like that. Yeah, and I guess like part of that is like an employer, for example, right? Like if myself and a Caucasian dude, if we go to apply to the same job, and let's say I'm more qualified for the position that they're hiring for, and like I have experience in it, maybe I went to school for it or whatever, and let's say he's not really qualified. He doesn't have any experience in it, didn't go to school for it or anything like that. So naturally, like if we're both like well put together, one of us doesn't have like, too much of an edge over the other in regards to like showing up on time or, presentation, like we both, dress up or whatever. And it really just comes down to like, okay, who's more qualified? Naturally, I should be the one to get the job, right? But him undoing this Civil Rights Act law basically allows this company to do, well, even though you're more qualified, because you're not white, we don't want to hire you. We're actually going to hire this white dude, even though he's unqualified, just because we prefer him. That would technically be discrimination based off of race, right? That's what the Civil Rights Act was put in place for, so that people were not discriminated against just because of their race, right? Because I can't choose my race. I was born as I am. I'm half white, I'm half black. I can't choose anything else, nor would I want to choose anything else. I'm very proud of my white heritage, and I'm very proud of my black heritage. I'm proud to be what I am, and I think that everybody should feel that way about themselves. But, for a job to discriminate against you based off of something that you can't control isn't right. So that's why that law was passed, right? And he undid the law. And it's like, dude, why would you undo that? Why would you undo that? What's the purpose behind that? And, he tried to say, well, it's not fair to employers because, sometimes they hire people, they hire people just to like show diversity rather than hire people that are qualified. That's not true, bro. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. You can hire anyone of any race who is qualified. You know what I'm saying? I think that what that is that is a very obvious show of regression. Okay. And his slogan has always been "Make America Great Again," which is kind of referring to the past. Now it's like, okay, the past of America was never really like all that positive, especially when it came to, um, you know, uh, different races of people. Not even just black people, bro. Like even Asian people and Hispanic people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, dude, what are we doing? Why are we regressing here? Why are we regressing? And then, Elon Musk is a part of his administration too, guys. And again, at first, I was kind of like, hey, Elon, from what I can tell, is a really smart businessman. He's got Tesla, he's got X, he's got SpaceX. Maybe he'll help turn the economy around too, but he doesn't really seem to be doing anything either that seems to be benefiting the country as a whole. From what I can tell. And then on inauguration day, he did the fucking Hail Hitler thing twice. It's like, and then I learned after that, because I'm like, whoa, what was that about? And then I learned after that apparently at a young age he was exposed to Nazism by his mother through her side of the family, and he might have ties to the Nazi organization. It's like, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is going on? What's with the regression? What's with the fascist, statements and isms? What is going on? This is not America, bro. America is a very diverse country. We value people for their characteristics and what they bring to the table, not you're only special if you're like me. Like, come on, bro. I just don't understand it, guys. I don't understand it. I don't like what I'm seeing. Okay. And like I said, I was giving Trump a chance. I was giving Elon Musk a chance. I didn't immediately, nope, they're horrible. I hate it. I'm like, hey man, that's my president now. Hopefully I can support whatever he does. When Elon came in, I'm like, hey man, two businessmen, like, man, let's get America, rolling. Let's get the economy going. Let's get, trade going. And it's like they're doing the exact opposite, bro. They're isolating us from the rest of the world as far as trade goes. They're getting it to the point to where people don't want to trade with us. It's going to drive prices of the stuff that we do have up sky high. And it's just like guys, this new microphone that I got, it literally says "Made in China" on the back. You know what I mean? Like, bro, come on. So you telling me if you keep going as you're going with China and they say, you know what, bro, fuck y'all, we not trading with y'all no more. Y'all on that bullshit. I can't get me a really nice affordable microphone anymore. I don't know, bro. I don't know, and I don't get it. In China's doing some really cool things, guys. They're 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 a part of the BRICS organization, which the BRICS organization is basically, a an agreement for all of these countries to come together and basically trade and work together, to make life better for them and their population, their citizens. You know what I'm saying? They have what they call the China has what they call the Belt. What is it? The Belt and Road Initiative, where they're literally building railways, so that they can put trains or whatever on these railways that basically connect from Asia all the way through the Middle East, maybe even through Africa, as well as European countries, all the way through Europe, so that when they trade goods and stuff, they can put it on these trains and it'll get to them within days. Something from China can get to the UK through this railway in days. In places where they can't build a railway, they're kind of like, I don't know if they're building anything or if they're just kind of like constructing visually or whatever, like a certain pathway that's the quickest way to get to someone via boats or something like that. They call it like the marine pathway or whatever. So you got your railway pathways, you got your marine pathways, and these are all initiatives to where they're like, hey, what is the quickest way for us to get our goods and services to you? Not to mention also, they're also building it for integration. They're building it for integration. They want to build these things so that, if someone lives in Europe, but they want to go to China, or, another Asian country or whatever, they can get on the railway and be there within hours to days. You know what I'm saying? Or same thing, with Africa. If Africa wants to commute, they're building that too. They're helping Africa, certain countries in Africa, because Africa is divided in a lot of different countries, and they all have their own, leadership and governments and stuff like that. And apparently, only certain countries within Africa are a part of BRICS, as well as a part of the Belt and Road Initiative and stuff like that. And but China is helping these specific African countries build up their infrastructure. For those of you who do not know, their infrastructure is buildings, roads, energy producing plants. Like I know China has mega projects in Africa where they've constructed quite a few like dams or whatever for like certain bodies of water in Africa. And I guess the way they construct this helps produce electricity, helps produce energy. And they're so they're giving Africa a way to produce energy so that they can light their homes and stuff like that and have energy. So it's like they're bringing them into the modern age of technology. Like it just now I from what I hear in exchange, I guess China is going to have access to some of the natural resources in Africa and stuff like that. So, they're getting something out of it, but I'm also seeing a lot of integration. When I was watching the videos on these mega projects, you have, you have people of Asian descent, in the country of Africa. They're teaching them and they're building and stuff, but at the same time, bro, like they're probably meeting new people, like Africans are meeting Asians that, they're very fond of, and vice versa. Asians are meeting Africans that they're very fond of, and that's integration. They might fall in love and have kids, and, like it's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing. And I love to see that. And I really wish that we could be a part of that. I really wish that we could do things like that for other countries, because to my knowledge, all America was doing for a lot of African countries was they were offering aid, which, don't get me wrong, aid is cool, but aid, other than like, yeah, you give a kid a shot and like, yeah, he's protected from mumps or something like that. But okay, you're still letting him walk on dirt roads. You're still letting him live in a country that, doesn't really have, access to things that an everyday person like me has access to, or somebody else. And it's like, good people deserve to live a good life like that, and it's just like, so it's like countries like China are kind of helping produce that right now, from what I can tell. So I think that's really cool, and I would love for America to be a part of just global world trade. But BRICS is attempting to get rid of the US dollar as the main currency of trade, because I guess other countries use the US dollar to trade amongst each other. That's how they value each other's, products and stuff like that. They use the US dollar. Well, apparently they're so fed up with the US right now, specifically our politicians, that they're trying to replace the US dollar. They're trying to come up with their own currency that they can use to trade amongst each other, and basically cast out America and the US dollar so that they no longer have to deal with us. Like, bro, that's it's crazy. And bro, Russia's a part. BRICS is, what is it? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then what did the S stand for? I don't know. But there's a lot of other countries that are a part of it now or partnered with it. Like Indonesia is a part of it. A lot of, like I said, other African countries, like, oh, South Africa was the S, South Africa. But yeah, I think even other African countries is a part of it. Uh, I think there's some more Middle Eastern, countries that are a part of it. Yeah, man. I think it's only a matter of time before Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and maybe even Canada, they're probably going to become part of it too. Probably Mexico is probably going to become part of it. Like, bro, I forgot. They're helping Brazil build up their infrastructure. They have trade agreements with Brazil. They're building warehouses, I think, in Brazil to help manufacture stuff. I also heard that China is going to also build a warehouse in Mexico for BYD, Build Your Dream. It's a car company that is subsidized, to my knowledge, by the government of China. And they basically make Tesla quality electric vehicles at a way lesser price. And BYD is available in almost every other country right now except for the US. And that's because Elon Musk does not want his Tesla company to be uh, basically outdone by BYD or other Chinese electrical cars. So us as consumers, we don't have the option for BYD to get a good quality, electric vehicle for a much lesser price. So, I mean, look, bro, I'm proud to be an American. I really am. I've been born and raised in America. I'm half white, I'm half black. So both of my sides of family have ancestors that have, I'm sure, deep ties to the American land, both from a, like a fortunate standpoint and from an unfortunate standpoint as far as history is concerned, and yeah, man. So like, I'm proud to be an American and stuff, but I just think that America has become a capitalist country, and it's kind of like an oligarchy right now. I researched it. Basically, an oligarchy is where a government is ran by the wealthy, which, I mean, our government has been ran by the wealthy for a very long time now, but now it's more in our face. Like, you got Elon Musk, who apparently is the richest man in the world or something like that. Or I don't know if that's true, because I mean, I hear so much about people in the Middle East that are like crazy rich, they're trillionaires. So I don't understand how Elon Musk is the richest man in the world if there's people in the Middle East that, are like trillionaires or whatever. So I don't know. But yeah, you got people like Elon Musk, who's a part of the administration, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. They were there for the inauguration, even though they had publicly spoken out against Trump in the past. Now they support him. It's just like, we literally see the rich coming together to kiss ass and run the world. It's just like, or at least run our country. You know what I'm saying? So this is an oligarchy that we live in. It's the type of government that we're having right now, an oligarchy, and it's capitalism. It's all about making money. Like, so far, our country is not about helping each other, uplifting each other, uplifting the country. It's all about, well, what can you afford? And it's just like, that's not a country that I want to be a part of, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not liking the direction that I'm seeing this country go, So, it's not that I have a problem with, I have a problem with decisions that are being made and people's actions. I don't have a problem with people, you know what I'm saying? Just because they are what they are in a sense of like their race or something like that. Like, I actually find Trump kind of charming. You know what I'm saying? I like his sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? I would love for Trump to be making decisions that I agree with, so I could say, man, I really like Trump as my president, man. I'm really behind him. I really support him. But I just cannot say that because I just do not agree with how he is running things right now. I feel like it's having a negative effect on myself and my fellow countrymen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do not want to keep seeing prices being raised for food, for supplies for goods and services. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy, man. So I don't know. I apologize if some people are supporters of, Trump and Elon right now. I really don't see how you would be a supporter of that because, again, I feel like they're doing a lot of things that are not affecting us in a positive way. Not to say that every single thing that they're doing. I mean, maybe they've done one or two things that might be cool or good or whatever, but I mean, it's just I don't feel like it's positively affecting, this country. I really don't. Especially, I don't see how it's continuing to progress the diversity and appreciation of other, ethnic groups in this country. And I recently saw, and I saw this from a video where I was watching where Trump was actually speaking. He's trying to get it to where essentially like it's illegal for you to practice any other religion in America besides Christianity. And that I don't think that's cool, bro. Again, you're like trying to like convert and force people into your beliefs. Like it's regression, man. It's regression. It is regression. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have a problem with someone worshiping Allah. I don't have a problem with somebody worshiping, a Buddha. I don't have a problem with somebody worshiping, fucking Odin or Zeus. Like, who cares what their religion is, bro? I just feel like I don't know, man. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And I don't like what I'm seeing. To be 100% honest with you, I keep trying to tell my wife, like, who knows, man? Pretty soon we might have to get out of here. We might have to go to the UK, or we might have to go to Australia, or we might have to go somewhere where their leadership isn't on this bullshit, isn't on this road of regression. So because I got to think about my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. This is just not cool. But yeah, so that's it. That's it on the politics take. Where are we? Oh shit, we're at a hour and 12 minutes. Well, you know what, guys? We'll go ahead and just leave it there. I think we talked long enough. Talked about a lot of different things. Again, this is episode 6 of the I'm Just Saying podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry if it got a little, like little touchy or sensitive there towards the end of it, but hey, man, this is real life stuff that's happening that we all got to think about. So, again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if you're one of those people who you're for hate, you're for discrimination and stuff like that, yeah, you're probably not going to like a lot of things that I got to say because I just simply don't agree with you. I appreciate everybody for who and what they are. To me, you don't got to look like me or have the same religion as me or anything like that. Like, I like diversity, so I don't know. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. And I will see you guys later. Bye.